Tonight on Superman Memes Live, the Superman suit reveal memes are all over the place, as well as some good art. But the memes are a lot funnier and kind of disturbing. Bob Iger says they're going to be cutting it down when it comes to Marvel Studios yet again. But then the way he said it was like, I don't think you're cutting down. But Kevin Feige knows that they're the underdog now. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes comes out this weekend, so let's read some of the reviews. Warner Brothers and Disney coming together. That's right. Oh boy. All that and so much more tonight on Film Junkie Live. It's a weird time, man. It's a weird time. Streaming wars, Warner Brothers, Disney struggling. So they're coming together. Insert bad joke here.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Well, hello everybody. What's happening? Welcome to Film Junkie Live. It is Wednesday. Time to get to humping. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that like, thumbs up. Do all that. We're going to be talking about some Superman suit memes and some art. You know, we'll try to balance it out, but the memes have been, of course, pretty funny for the past couple of days. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some Marvel Studios, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which, man, that title, I tell you, that title, too much of the. And then we're going to be talking about, of course, Warner Brothers and Disney coming together. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Good to see ya. It is Wine Wednesday, so cheers, guys. Got some wine right here. Wine Wednesday. There we go. You guys are awesome for joining. And just want to say, of course, right off the bat, this episode of Film Junkie Live is executive produced by Mr. Jason McKenzie. So thank you, Jason, for being the executive producer and supporting the channel and doing all that. Much appreciated, sir. And yeah, great to have you executive produce the episodes this week, Vodka Stream, all the stuff. And then, you know, when it comes to the Vodka Stream this weekend, it'll be a new executive producer. So, anyways, how we doing here, folks? All right, whoops, not that. Did the whole wrong thing right there. Hit the wrong button. Here we go. That's the one, I think. All right, the meme of Foghorn Leghorn yelling at Superman is my favorite so far. Thank you, Omri Daniels. Yeah, we'll go over some of those. I think somebody sent me that. We got James Noel right here. And he's saying, hey, Dave, I saw Clay Staub taking a jab at the new suit. I mean, everybody's taking a jab at the new suit. Let's face it. Taladia Plays, what's happening? Some of the memes I saw was, yeah, they're pretty funny. And then speaking of my executive producer right there, thank you, sir. Supporting the channel. Cheers, my friend. Added to the super chat. Adding to the pirate ship. Always great to see you, buddy. We got Mr. Eric Hardboiled Entertainment right here. Disney Plus Max. Somehow I like the sound of that. Come together. Well, they're not going to come together. It's a bundle. It's not going to change the names. But hey. We got Lane right here. What's up, Dave? Hope you're doing good. New day, new Film Junkie Live, but the Superman suit still stinks. Something tells me no matter how it looked, you would have hated it anyway there, Lane. It's okay. Travis, what's going on? Whole DCU gonna be a meme? Maybe. We'll see what happens. We got Eric Patterson right here. What's going on, Mr. Droga? What's going on, Shano? Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. We got Untold right here, and if you guys saw the thumbnail to this very stream, he's the one that made that. He put my head on Superman's body sitting in the chair, so thank you. Man, the Giants are kicking ass right now. They're playing the Rockies, which is not a hard feat, but 6-0 right now in the second inning. Just seeing that in the background. But anyways, yeah, thank you to Untold for making that. I figured, you know what? We're going to be talking about memes. Might as well put my face on the thumbnail. We got Stephanie T right here. Good to see you. All right, we got Super Omnicron. Got some wine coffee. Yeah, I mean, whatever works, man. Whatever freaking works. I probably drink 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. I try to keep it at 3, sometimes 2, depending. But, sometimes, like, it's Wednesday. This is my busiest day now, specifically, because the new day for DC Fanimated is tonight. So tonight at 8 o'clock, so in less than 2 hours, Scott and I are going to be doing DC Fanimated because I had to switch things around for his schedule. So yeah, I can't drag too long. And then of course the members only stream after this. So it's like, Jesus. So pretty crazy. It's going to be pretty crazy Wednesdays from now on. All right, what's going on, Tet? Good to see you. We got Skate and Geek Out. We got Chris Balga. People freaking out about Superman costume. Disney and WB creating a streaming bundle. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Come on, you guys know that reference. And if you don't, watch more movies. Come on. But thank you for joining, Chris. All right. Happy hump day, Mr. Nobody. What's the deal with Superman suit hysteric with everybody? It's just the way it is. Just the way it is, It's fun to talk about. Some people are, losing their minds. There's meltdowns. There's some. Again, I just go back to what Snyder said on Rogan and how this all this stuff's kind of like a religion, and people just freak out when it comes to defending and when it comes to shitting on. It's like it gets pretty crazy. It does get pretty crazy. What's going on, Justin? What is happening? Good to see you, buddy. And then, of course, we got Scott McClone right here. Scott got a new toy. He got not a toy, but he got a new statue. So you might want to go check out that unboxing that he posted recently. It's a pretty cool little statue that he got. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, guys, we're it's been today was it's been a pretty. This week's going by pretty quickly, I will say. It's going by pretty quickly, but, work's gotten a little busier. And, yeah, just trying to keep up with everything. Like I said, guys, join the Patreon. Join the Patreon. Like I said, I'm trying to build the community more over there, more than usual. Just in case YouTube ends up going away again. You just never know. Ever since YouTube removed the channel, and it was gone for almost pretty much 5 days. Really trying to build up that Patreon. And you can subscribe for free. You can subscribe for free for sure. But, check out the tiers. Like I said, if you're one of the top tiers, you become an executive producer for the week when it comes to these shows and some other little perks and stuff like that. So check it out. I have videos and stuff posted over there that's nowhere else right now. So go ahead and check that out. And I think we're going to be doing a Patreon stream. I'm pretty sure, this Saturday. Going to do a Patreon stream. So if you want to join, you want to come on the stream and talk to me for a little bit, talk to me and some of the other guys that are part of the Vodka stream. They might be on there too if they want to join. And, we can have a conversation, talk to them, talk to me, and do all that stuff. So yeah, the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to do that. All right, guys. I like the suit with a mix of the old. Yeah. You know what? When it comes to the suit, I'm still kind of, all right. I'm kind of like, I think, like to me, again, and even talking with people like on Twitter, when it comes to the suit and just kind of gauging people's reactions and then, of course, getting people's reactions and, maybe even just like fucking with some people on Twitter because I was in that kind of mood. What can I say? Sometimes I just like to stir the pot or fuck with some people, Because just how people react to certain things. When you ask like for a certain thing and they give you something else because, I tend to fuck with those people. It's like, hey, show me some memes, send over some memes or send over some art. And then they don't exactly do that. They just kind of do the whole restore the Snyderverse and blah, blah, blah. I can't help but just be like, all right, well, I'm going to fuck with you now because you did not understand the assignment. Okay. I gave you the assignment and you decided to not do the assignment, so I'm going to fuck with you a little bit. It happens. I do that every now and again. It's fun. But, it's just, I don't know. It's all just, it's all gravy. It's all gravy. Is a membership or a Patreon sub better? Well, I mean, Patreon most likely, I don't know, because I would probably say Patreon might be because, I mean, obviously we do a members-only stream after today's stream, so that could be live. But, for the patrons, I do post the stream later on there. So, Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm trying to figure out exactly how to balance that out. It's all just it's all interesting, but I would say you get a little bit more bang for the buck, I guess you could say, when it comes to the Patreon, maybe a little bit. I know there's some people that do both, and I very much appreciate all that, but anyways, I'm rambling right now, so but yeah, he's got the yeah. But anyways, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, when it comes to the suit, I'm just kind of like talking with people and getting their reactions, gauging their reactions. It's like, okay, I mean, obviously the general reaction is, I think, even looking at polls and everything like that, is people are like, all right, it's fine. I mean, I think that's what it is, and I'm kind of in that realm too, where it's like, yeah, I was expecting, it was underwhelming, sure, but I just, I still don't hate it. And I'm just kind of going like, all right, what's the next image going to be? What's the next image going to be? That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, what is the next image going to be? That's what I'm kind of wondering when it comes to all that. So anyways, all right, let's go ahead and let's get to it. Let's get to some tweets right here. We're going to start off, speaking of suits that people do like, well, we got, Deadpool and Wolverine right here. Another image from Entertainment Weekly this time. And this time they're at the TVA. So even though they're trying not to show too much when it comes to this movie, they're not trying to show too much. They are showing little tidbits. I mean, anytime we see these two, it's just like they're standing next to each other. We're still not seeing Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine mask, but you could tell that they're at the TVA this time. He's holding one of those, TVA fucking phones or whatever the hell. So, I mean, but we already know they're still not giving away too much because we already know the TVA is going to be part of it. So, it's a cool image though. This movie's going to be absolute madness. And also going to the world of Blade Runner, because remember guys, Blade Runner is still going to be very much a thing. And we are getting Blade Runner 2099. That's right. We're jumping 50 years from 2049 to 2099, which is going to be on Amazon Prime. And guess who's going to be leading that? Michelle Yeoh. That's right. Michelle Yeoh. Speaking of Michelle Yeoh, I tell you what. And, well, nah, I'll talk about that later. No, I don't want to ramble on right now. Don't want to ramble on, but Michelle Yeoh is great. I was going to praise certain things, but you know what? I'll talk about it later because, yeah, I plan on rewatching a certain movie that she's in because I only caught the tail end, and I just realized how, and it's just going to be one of those things where I want to go on a praising kind of spiel that I go on because of how great this movie is that she is in with somebody else. That I want to absolute give praise to because I only caught the end of it. I want to rewatch the entire thing before. Anyways, okay, so let's continue on. Hey yo, Sylvester Stallone. Instead of doing another Rocky movie, let's do a movie about me making a Rocky movie. That's what I'm talking about. That's happening. Coming from Peter Farrelly of the Farrelly brothers. A movie is in the works about a young Sylvester Stallone and the dramatic journey it took to get Rocky made. Peter Farrelly is set to direct with casting now underway. You can't just do a crappy Sylvester Stallone impression like I just did. Somebody's got to really embody that, and you just kind of, it's got to be subtle. You can't do over the top. But man, not a bad idea. Because if you watch the Sly Stallone documentary on Netflix, it kind of talks about that. It goes over that. And the fact of the matter is Sly could have just sold that screenplay to somebody else, let somebody else do that movie. But no, he was like, no, this has got to be me. I got to star in it. I got to be a part of this. He wrote that specifically because he knew exactly what the assignment was when it came to that. And sure enough, it benefited him. That was the best decision he could have ever made. I mean, how many of those decisions do you hear about that in Hollywood where somebody like creates something and you could easily just sell it for, oh yeah, what, a couple $100,000 and get a good payday for a little bit. And then, cool. But then you just never know what's going to like totally launch yourself into stardom. And thankfully it did. So that's going to be interesting. And coming from Peter Farrelly, I mean, come on. That's pretty cool. I like that. Looking forward to that, to be honest. It's going to be some unknown actor that's got to just really embody Sly at a young age and have a little bit of that. A little bit of the, got to have a little bit of that. Oh, man. This tweet kind of took off a little bit. Well, a little bit. Sorry, I got a like freaking itch on my nose right there. I'm not picking my nose, I swear, guys. I just like all of a sudden I got like an itch. Anyways. Swear I didn't do a line of anything before. I did a line of salt before I went live. Anyways, where is this cinematic universe? When it comes to cinematic universes, this is a universe that I would like to see. A universe with the Rocketeer, the Shadow, the Phantom, and calling Dick Tracy. Could you imagine? Can you imagine a cinematic universe with this right here? And thank you to Howie Noel, who actually made this art. But could you imagine them having a cinematic universe with this noirish kind of back, these characters that take place not in current day? And my God, could you imagine this? Could you imagine this? Now, it won't happen because obviously there's not a cinematic universe that can actually have them. And the movie rights are like all over the place. They're definitely all over the place. But I just saw that and I went, geez, there's a team up that I would love to see right there. And, these are all like 90s movies that are all fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. The Rocketeer, The Shadow, The Phantom, and Dick Tracy are all fantastic. I think that Warren Beatty owns the rights still to this day to Dick Tracy, and that's the reason why we have not gotten another version of that character. If I might be wrong, but I thought I read that he actually owns the movie rights, that he's not going to relinquish them. And that kind of sucks because when I was a kid, I loved that character. I had a fake watch. A fake Dick Tracy watch, because I love the fact that, that you could talk like a walkie-talkie through your watch. And now, look at all the shit you could do with a watch now. Isn't that crazy? You could do more than talking. You can look at porn right now with a watch. You can literally do that. Isn't that crazy? You can measure your fucking heartbeat. All that stuff. But yeah, I actually did like The Phantom. Billy Zane, come on. It's great 90s fun. Okay, when it comes to the 4 movies that came out, it's the weakest one. Sure. The Phantom is the weakest one. The Shadow was great. Alec Baldwin, absolutely great. The Rocketeer was also great, too. And that was directed, of course, by the same guy who did the first Captain America, right? Can't remember his name right now. Fantastic movie. I remember watching that in one of my classes. I remember watching that in school. I need to watch it again. I think it's on Disney Plus. All right. What else we got? Okay. We're going to, oh yeah. You know who's the GOAT? You know who's the GOAT right now, guys? Especially after the whole Met Gala thing that, you guys know I cringe at the whole Met Gala thing because it's just ridiculous, and the whole celebrity worship and all the crazy dresses and everything like that. You know who's the GOAT? And he's arguably one of the best superhero villains of all time. I think maybe he might be. I don't know. But Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is the GOAT, and this is the reason why. So we got this right here. We got Shakira. We got this at the Met Gala. Obviously we got Shakira with a ridiculously long train on her dress that is going probably all the way down, probably extending God knows how many feet. And the sleeves are ridiculous or anything like that. But hey, watch this. There's Michael Shannon with a bag of chips. You can't get any better than that. You can't get any better than that. He just walked up the steps. He's like, I can't talk, holding a bag of chips. That wins. That wins right there. That is a whole thing right there. That is, oh man, I laughed my ass off. That's me, hey. I can't talk. One more time. That's me, hey. I can't talk. Yes. This is why he's a fucking goat. I love Michael Shannon so much for that. Everybody's looking at Shakira, and her long dress, and he's just like, nyeh, with a bag of chips. I can't talk. God, it was almost like that was planned. Just pure gold right there. I love Michael Shannon so much. I love him. And that right there just shows you why. It was so good. I laughed so hard at that when I first saw it. I was like, that's just so freaking good. So freaking good. And hey, you want to see a good Batman poster? Well, we got we got my boy Aaron Bailey right here. That's right. He's he's talked about it. He's been working on it. Night of the Batman. When it comes to continuing, which I love. I love it when artists are out there continuing the Snyderverse. If we're not going to be getting it anymore, or at least for the time being, we're not going to get anything more. If we're going to be getting, if we're going to get some more Snyderverse stories and whatever the hell, then hey, why not have some talented artists that just put some stuff out there? And he posted this right here. That's pretty cool. Arkham right behind him. There's Batfleck right there. An unofficial prologue to Batman versus Superman. So yeah, this takes place after Batman versus Superman, and it's a great poster. Great poster. And he's now entering the voiceover stage of all this. So wonder who he's gonna bring in for that. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, he's been working on it for a bit. I think one of the last times he was on, we talked about the start of it all. So that's pretty cool. But what's also kind of cool too? Speaking of Batman, Gotham Knights. That's right, Gotham Knights on the CW. Now, not many people really were digging that show. And it's already just, it showed up and now it's gone. And a lot of people were kind of going like, all right, was there going to be a Batman presence when it came to that show? Was there going to be a Batman presence for that? Well, there was very much going to be a Batman presence, and there was information out there that Jensen Ackles was actually going to be Batman in there at one point, that they wanted him. But apparently, according to the creators of the show, they wanted somebody else. They actually wanted somebody else when it came to the show. And let me see here. Okay. That wasn't quite it right there. It was actually just, let's see. Let me find it here. But our boy Andy interviewed the creators. Let's see. We got some quotes right here. All right. Sorry. They wanted Kevin Conroy as Batman in a full-on bat suit, not just like what they did with the whole Crisis event. And it says right here from Chad Favash, yeah. We were also very clear about the fact that this was a flashback. So basically, when it came to Carrie Kelly, her flashback was actually going to have a full-suited Batman when it came to her flashback, and it was going to be Kevin Conroy in a full freaking suit. But of course, at this time, Kevin was already pretty sick. They couldn't pull it off, and Warner Brothers, DC, CW, they were all down for it. All for it. There was a scene from The Dark Knight Returns that we wanted to do. It was Robin's audition sides, the interaction between her and Batman. Everyone loved the scene, and we felt it was important to Robin's backstory to show this meeting. It was one of those, where initially there was a bit of reluctance for that, but our executives really fought and said, look, I think this is a perfect setup and way to do this. You get this one scene you can do. So yeah, that was revealed today. You had an interview with them, and they talked about how they were going to have Kevin Conroy in a full suit showing the meeting between Batman and Robin, Carrie Kelly, Robin. So pretty interesting. Not too shabby. I'm like, wow. You know, some people were like, yeah, though. Like, you know, when it comes to Gotham Knights, people didn't like it. I don't know. It's just, but, you know, I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And Andy posted that today on the showrunner talk. And, of course, Multiverse of Color. So, good stuff. But you know what's not good stuff? Apparently, this is not going too well, which kind of makes sense because it's like how many versions of Jason we're going to get? I mean, I guess you got to go as unique as possible when it comes to all this. But Hannibal creator Brian Fuller confirms he is no longer working on A24's Friday the 13th prequel series. For reasons beyond our control, A24 has elected to go a different way with the material, which means they didn't get along, which A24, you know, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's going to be times where we're going to hear that A24 is not really good with what the creator wants to do, even though they're a very creator-driven studio, but it's going to happen where they're going to have differences. It's just the way it's going to be. Nothing you could do about that. There's really nothing you could do about that, so I don't know. I never really, I like the first Friday the 13th, and then I don't know, I never really got into, I'm not big into slashers. That's why even with the Halloween movies, I'm like, all right, they're fine. I like Freddy better because that's more paranormal, and that is a whole different beast. I like the more horror when it's paranormal. Slashers, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'll still watch them. You guys want to see a very stupid poster? A very dumb, stupid poster that I'm just kind of going like, what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? I don't even understand it. And they decided, hey, we're just going to release this poster right here and hope for the best. Because there's a new poster for the movie Twisters, and it's fucking stupid. Can anybody understand the logic of this poster right here? Anybody? Okay, I mean, I get it that it's Twisters, plural, so there's more than one Twister, but why are they backing up and looking at only one of the Twisters? There's a fucking fiery tornado behind them, and they're looking the opposite way. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? But it's from the producers of Jurassic World, so at least there's that. This is the dumbest poster. What the hell is happening? There's all kinds of debris up in the air and everything, and they're not even looking at it. Okay, it's just a dumb poster. If you're going to have something called Twisters and you're going to have multiple Twisters, have both Twisters on there and them looking at both or running away from both. Don't have them looking this way and backing up into the fiery, weird Twister from hell that's behind them. That's a stupid poster. That is a fucking stupid poster. Holy Lord. Get out of here. I saw that and I'm like, what the hell kind of poster is that? The hell kind of poster is that? Yeah, I know, right? It's like, I know, is there like flying raptors coming out of that? There's a T-Rex right in the freaking middle of it. You know? Jesus Christ. I'm like, ugh. I mean, I get you have to show one of the tornadoes and you have to show the characters, but at least have one of the characters looking at the other one. No, that somebody put that together in like 20 minutes. That is one of the dumb. I mean, you know how I get kind of tired of the floating head posters. I would prefer a floating head poster over that dumb shit right there. That is a dumb poster. And there's a new trailer that came out for it today. I'm not really even looking forward to that movie. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go see it. Sure, I really love the original movie. I watched the original movie so many times. I love that movie. Bill Paxton, may he rest in peace. Helen Hunt, who it's hard to not have a crush on her. You know, it's a fantastic movie. But this freaking, oh my God. But I love that. They had to be like, oh, we have to make sure that people know that this is from the producers of Jurassic World. Oy. Anyways, all right. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and start looking at some of this, some of the memes. Let's dive into the memes right here. Let's dive into the memes of this Superman costume because they've been all over the place, as they should be. As they should be. You know, obviously, hold on, let me turn that off. There we go. So when it comes to the Superman suit reveal, I mean, let's face it, we're all just kind of going like, all right, underwhelming. I'm underwhelmed still, but I'm waiting for more. And at the same time, I'm still kind of going like, is James Gunn trolling us right here? What's going on? What's going on? But let's look at some of the memes. Like I asked on Twitter, like, hey, send over the best memes that you have when it comes to the Superman suit reveal. And, you know, everybody showed up and, you know, we're going to be going over some ones. And a lot of people, of course, creative people. Everybody could just like create something real quick. So let's look at some of the good ones right here when it comes to these Superman memes. All right. Obviously, I'm using one for the thumbnail. All right, let's kind of go through. Let's see. Is that... Oh, nope. Looked at the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry. Because we're also going to look at some art. What's going on here? Why? I posted it very early this morning. That's why. Posted it very early this morning. Where the hell is my tweet? I can't even find my tweet. All right, hold on here. What the hell? Why can't I find the tweet? I am having so much trouble right now. How early did I post this damn thing? There it is. Jesus. Okay. All right, let me do a run through though. Let me do a run through because you just never know what's going to be showing up on some of these tweets, on some of these memes. Just don't want to, I want to make sure that there's no like, you know, there's no things that are going to be popping out. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, just making sure because you just never know when it comes to this stuff. Oh my God. See, yeah, there's one that I'm not going to show that. Yeah, there's one specifically. I'm like, okay, we're not going to show that for sure because, yeah, it's gross. Anyways, but, all right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, so I asked best memes. A lot of people had this one right here of Superman, of course, at a shoe store trying on boots. Common one. Now this one right here is pretty damn badass. I like this because it all works. We got the black and silver suit, and we got the nightmare sequence happening in the background. So, you know, he doesn't have to be on full alert. It's just like, here we go. I got to go. I don't know. I thought that was pretty damn cool. So good job, Bean.Seth right there. Not really a meme. It's actually more of the art kind of stuff, but I actually thought that was pretty cool. Not even sure what that one means. We got this right here. Clark, did you take out the trash? Doing it now, Lois. Jeez. It's pretty funny. I laughed a lot at this one. I'm a Married with Children fan. Love Al Bundy. So this one made me laugh a lot when that came across. We got him putting on... I mean, that's... You know, he's... putting on some stockings or whatever you want to call them, some pantyhose. Jesus Christ. There's the Al Bundy one again, of course, shoe store stuff, you know. We got P. Diddy behind him. I mean, come on. And then we even got some video. Look at this. We even got video of this. I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh, jeez. I mean, I mean, you got 9/11 happening behind him. I mean, holy Lord. You got the the Avengers Tower behind him, and the first of the events that happened in the first Avengers movie. We got Homer right there putting his pants on. Actually, I think Warner Brothers actually posted this one, or I think this is actually official, where they got Garfield right there, where they capitalize on that. We got some Dragon Ball Z action happening right there. So that's cool. And then we got somebody put Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I could still whoop his ass. It's not too late. Just saying. That's pretty funny. And then we got "Don't be ashamed. It happens to the best of us." Like this one too. Yeah. Poor Superman shot the load a little too quickly. Of course, him the shoes. Somebody put him up as Batman. That's pretty funny. It's actually not a bad job too. Have him as Batman. Of course, the leggings again, and then that. And then Jesus Christ. Oh, somebody brought James Gunn into it with that weird costume stuff that came out. Oh my God, jeez. Oh, and then with Cap. Oh boy, yeah. And there's a Durex condom wrapper right there on the ground. Oh, that's just terrible. And then speaking of trunks, somebody put a trunk on his nose. Woo, wow. Him on the toilet. Yeah. You know? Him on the freaking toilet. So that's pretty funny. Diddy again. And there's all the different ones. Somebody even had one where it had, what's his name? Homelander right there as well. And then, of course, the when you order online, when it arrives, that meme, that's always funny. And then this is from Aaron Bailey right here. Speaking of Aaron Bailey, he designed this one right here that's just like, hey, all right, I got it. Don't worry, you take your time. Oh, don't show that one. Nope, no, we're not showing that one. God, I don't know about that one. It's basically Nancy Pelosi in a fucking in bra and panties. It's kind of just like, yeah. Probably shouldn't show that one. I'm just saying. But there's some of the memes right there. Oof. Yeah. I was like, don't show that one. But then it was kind of funny too, because I saw people actually passing around this one, which is, Cavill sitting there in the chair and stuff like that. And people were like praising it. But I was like, wait a minute, that's made by AI. You're praising AI now? Easy. Well, it's okay to utilize AI when you're sticking it to somebody you don't like. Am I right, guys? I don't know. There's a lot of hypocrisy out there. Anyways, that's what I was kind of pointing out right there. So there's that. All right, so there some good ones out there. It's been funny. Now, let's look at the stuff that's going to be improving. So I asked her, I was like, all right, so now show me stuff that maybe improves it, improves the art. But of course, naturally, there's still going to be people that are going to be sending the memes over. So there's still memes that are in this because, again, people don't understand the assignment. They don't understand the assignment. When I asked for the improvement, when artists actually took the time to improve the thing. So yeah, basically just art. So this is just going to be like arts that supposedly, that I asked like, hey, improve on it. But there is still some funny ones in here. But yeah, I was like, improve on the arts. And I saw some really cool ones. We saw some on Monday's show. And I was like, yeah, show me some more of those. Some artists, talented artists that actually took the time to improve the Superman suit reveal. But see, this one's more meme-like. I mean, that's more meme-like. You got Stay Puft right there. It's like, come on. That's more meme-like. And then, of course, Untold put my head on that one right there, the AI one. That was pretty funny. I was like, oh, yeah. So you got Henry Cavill's first, when he was wearing the Christopher Reeve suit for his little camera test. Someone posted that, of course. Probably one of the best ones right here was a lot of people passing this around, which is the traditional suits, and everything's just looking pretty damn good right there. And it's like, yeah, I mean, somebody should actually take this and then just put the new logo on it, and there you go. That one was pretty good. I mean, more meme stuff right here. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Somebody right here just kind of made the background not as crazy, which that does improve it. That does improve it. Somebody made this right here, kind of made the colors a little bit more, put the Daily Planet back there, a little bit more vibrant. Yeah, looks pretty good. Got rid of the dirt, got rid of the damaged logo right there. Okay. Yeah, that's an improvement. And then somebody just made it brighter, of course. And then there's the legging once again. This is pretty funny, too. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, it's Godzilla in the background that's actually doing that. And then you got people just, whatever. This one right here, this is pretty damn good, too, right here. This would have been a better place to have him sitting down, putting his boots on, which he's at his parents' house in Smallville doing this. I think this would have been a better option, a better setting, to be honest. And this is really good right there. So, and then, of course, more meme stuff. You got Cavill's picture in the background and everything. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. When it comes to all that. I thought that was fun. But let's talk about David Cornsweet a little bit when it comes to him packing on the muscle and his trainer. When it comes to his trainer, talking about packing on the muscle and packing on just how much muscle he put on. And then, of course, maybe exaggerating a little bit when it comes to his height. But according to his trainer, yeah, he packed on 40 pounds of muscle. What? 40 pounds of muscle. Let's find the tweet here, sorry. 40 pounds of muscle. What the hell? Paolo Meschetti on David Cornsweet added 40 pounds of muscle. David had been working out intensely before I met him, but he's naturally a very lean guy. He probably went from 200 pounds to 240 pounds, but some of that mass will be shed as he continues to tone up. Whoa! He also said that he's 6'6" as opposed to 6'4". And yeah, naturally, again, I got like dudes in my mentions going like, wait a minute, he's 6'4", not 6'6". Okay, who gives a shit? Yeah, he probably exaggerated that a little bit. Or maybe when he's in the Superman costume, he's got the boots on, it gives him another 1.5 inches. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. But it's just kind of funny. Like, man, there were like people like correcting you, like, no, Google and IMDb says 6'4". I'm like, who gives a shit? 40 pounds of muscle? I mean, I've already told you, obviously he had some help. And then, of course, yeah, he's going to lean out a little bit. He is going to lean out because, I mean, that happened with Christian Bale. Remember when Christian Bale went from The Machinist to Batman and he gained like, I think he gained like 80 pounds. He had to gain like 80 to 100 pounds and he got really big and then he had to slim down. So it's like, all right, you bulk up and then you cut a little bit just to get a little bit more cut. But yeah, man, I tell you, there's just, I don't understand. Okay. I think I figured it out. Like why there's like people like especially that show up in the mentions that have a problem when it comes to David Cornsweet and how big he is and everything. Cause I mean, I hate to say it because I am part of the fandom, but it is diehard Snyder fandom people. So when it came to Robert Pattinson, and I had the same kind of guys that were in my mentions when it came to Robert Pattinson's physique, and they just were like, yeah, he's too puny. He's puny. He's too skinny. What the hell? Batflick all the way. And of course, they would send me, Ben Affleck, like, doing the pull-ups or showing him, like, looking all huge in the suit. And I'm like, all right, you prefer your men bigger. And of course, I always fuck with those guys like that. I'm like, okay, so you prefer your men bigger. And of course, they push back that you're like, no, it's not what I'm talking about. So when it comes to Cornsweet, it's the reverse. Because Cornsweet is, in fact, bigger than Cavill. So now they're like offended by that. They're offended by Cornsweet being bigger because he is taller, so he is going to be a little bit, he's going to be massier. He's going to be a little bit more. So now it's like a different thing. So now it's like it's a different reaction. Same kind of reaction, but different. It's like there's a triggering that's happening there, but it's like, guys, who the hell cares? Again, I was messing with somebody earlier. I'm like, okay, so whose nipples do you prefer? Cavil's or... It's like, who cares? Long as they look like they can actually fight crime, it doesn't matter. It looks like they could fit the role. Like when it comes to Pattinson, okay, they went for Reeves wanted a more leaner Batman, leaner. Okay, cool. That works for that world. Ben Affleck was a beast, and that's what Zach wanted. He wanted more of the Dark Knight Returns. When it comes to Superman, it's like, all right, well, you got somebody who's 3-4 inches taller, whatever the hell. He's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger, but it's just like, again, Zach was so right when it came to like this stuff is a religion, because now people are like just losing their minds over just the physique of the person. And it's like, who cares? As long as they look good in the role. That's all that really matters. Who cares who's bigger, who's smaller, who's whatever the hell, Maybe and most of these guys don't even work out themselves. But it's just kind of funny when you see all that. Anyways, remember when people said no to Ben Affleck? Yeah, I know, right? You can't say that, Dave. That means you're a fake fan and biased. You can't criticize. I know, right? I know. Yes, okay. Ben Affleck looks better. That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, Batfleck is my favorite cinematic Batman. But it's all, whatever fits the role. But it's funny when I have people in my mentions, dudes in my mentions, talking about another dude's physique. It's like, why do you give a shit so much? That's why I always like to fuck with those guys, because I'm like, but now, instead of saying that Batman is too puny, now they're like threatened by the fact that Corn Sweat is actually bigger than Cavill. It's like, geez, it's such a weird thing. It's just, that's what a weird thing is, But it's all coming from a biased thing. It's like, again, it's all like a religion. It's like, Jesus Christ. I think Corn Sweat looks great. I think it'll look great in the costume. And like I said, and of course I got people like, yeah, all that work just to be covered by a thick. It's like, he still has to look big in the costume, and he's still going to get a shirtless scene because they all get shirtless scenes in this movie. I hate that argument. All to be covered. No, he's going to get a shirtless scene. There's going to be a shirtless scene. There always is a shirtless scene. That's what you sign on for. You get all freaking jacked, and you get a shirtless scene. Even fucking Paul Rudd, he got ripped for Ant-Man. Did not need to get ripped for Ant-Man, but he did. And he had his one moment of like where he's leaning back and he's showing the abs. You always get that. It made no sense, but you always get that. You have to show off what you've been wearing. They're all going to be showing off those things, so it's not a waste of time. Oh, Jesus Christ, I got paid millions to get jacked. Oh, you poor guy. That's what I always find funny about that. Anyways, okay. So we got Marvel Studios right here. And hey, did you know that Marvel Studios is going to cut back on how much movies and shows they're going to be releasing? That's right. You already know that because Bob Iger has been saying that every other fucking month. We get it, Bobby. You guys are cutting back. How many times are we going to hear that from Bob Iger? That they're not going to be putting out as much. I get tired of hearing that. Anybody else getting tired of hearing that? I'm getting tired of hearing that. But yeah, that's what Bob Iger is saying. 2 to 3 movies per year. Okay, I thought it was just going to be 2. It might be 3, but it might be 4. I don't know. That doesn't seem like that's much cutting back. 2 TV shows per year. Okay. Yeah, one towards the beginning, one towards the end. That works. We get it, Bobby. Scaling it back. You should do 2 movies a year, 2 shows. Perfectly fine. Or maybe just 1 show. I don't know. Depending on what that show is, I guess. But, we're all looking forward to Daredevil. at least. Very much looking forward to that, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, how many times am I going to hear Bob Iger talking about scaling back on things? Yeah, it seems like we hear it all the time, but yeah, it doesn't sound like they're, scaling back too much from what's happening this year. I mean, how many? I'm only getting one movie this year, right? Or are we getting two? I don't even know. But we also got, let's see, where's the quote at? We'll talk, yeah. Let's see, project, because we also got Kevin Feige talking about this. Well, I mean, I guess it's not, you have to like get the whole thing. But anyways, so when it comes to Kevin Feige, let's see. We'll get his quote right here. And it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good quote. Let's see. Okay. So we got two quotes right here. So not only do we have, Iger talking about, like, of course, they're going to be scaling back, but we also got Kevin Feige kind of chiming in on some of that stuff. And then, of course, we've got Sean Levy that's also talking about it as well. And, Marvel knows that, in fact, that, yes, things are not that great right now. And according to, Kevin Feige, he's comfortable with the MCU being the underdog again. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. Sean Levy said, "You'd have to live under a rock not to know that the last few Marvel movies have failed to ignite the world in the way that they, of course, did in the past." So that's pretty cool. They're acknowledging it, and you know what? Good. Be the underdog. They're scaling it back. They know that they're fucking up, so hey, looking forward to quality, hopefully, quality shows back up when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They know it. They like, there's nothing wrong with being the underdog, but I don't know if they're still the underdog. We're still, DC is still, trying to find their footing. So, I mean, I guess we'll see when it comes to next year, but let's face it, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to really just like boost Marvel Studios this year, but they know they're the underdog, and that's good. Acknowledge that, and they know that things are just not where it actually is right now, and they'll find their footing again. They will. So that was it. Nothing too much when it comes to that topic. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Who's going to go see that movie this weekend? I'm going to go see it tomorrow. So look forward to my first reaction review when it comes to this sequel. And I really wish I did a rewatch of the trilogy that came out before this past weekend. Didn't even think about it. And I was like, oh shit, that movie's coming out this weekend. So I'm like, damn it, I wish I would have. Maybe I'll do a rewatch this weekend. I'll go see this one. I mean, obviously I've watched those movies a few times, especially Dawn. Dawn, of course, was, come on. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was Matt Reeves. Jesus Christ, that guy. What that guy was doing with the franchise is just absolutely insane. But, we got Wes Ball now that is going to be handling the franchise moving forward. And I think a lot of us were kind of worried, like, what was going to be happening when it comes to this franchise. Is it going to actually work without having Andy Serkis, of course, being Caesar and doing the mocap stuff? And then, of course, we have a whole different director, a whole different story that's taken I think like 200 years or 100 years, 200 years after that original story. Well, currently at an 85% with 96 reviews on the Devil Fruit site. So let's read some of these right here. Let's start off with a bad one coming from Australia. Expensive look of the film is plain to behold, but you can't help feeling that this is not much more than a bunch of set pieces and special effects in search of a movie. Not too great. Seemingly inspired by equal parts Akira Kurosawa, Rod Serling, and various Donkey Kong and Fallout gaming sessions, Kingdom takes its time to move its story pieces into place. If you're looking for visual excitement and density and some thrills and smart action, Kingdom may be plenty to make you happy from your trip to the movie theater. I didn't dislike the film. I just kept seeing moments that should have been better. So kind of like, that's good and somewhat of a backhanded compliment. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a great cinematic experience in the theater, especially an IMAX screen I saw it on. 145 minutes is too long to spend retreading the recent past. If this is to be a new trilogy, the next 2 chapters need to cover some serious ground to get more distance from Caesar. Solid, well-acted, and entertaining without achieving anything near what the earlier films accomplished. When the last act, the big conflict, the master plan is going down, it was entertaining. But leading up, it is kind of a snooze. When the big ideas of Kingdom begin to crystallize, the film becomes a worthy entry into one of the most consistent ongoing series in film history. This family-friendly take is handsomely shot, but feels like a letdown given the quality of the film series thus far. Where the film requires intimacy and contemplative introspection, Wes Ball delivers. So a little bit of backhand compliments right there. What I kept hearing too was the fact that it's like, oh yeah, this movie, I think it only cost like $165 million to make, and it felt like it was more than that. So apparently, like when it comes, I mean, that's what Andy Serkis and Matt Reeves set up. They set up the fact that it was like, yeah, we can achieve this, and it still pisses me off to this day because I think Andy Serkis deserved awards. He deserved awards for his performance as Caesar. Especially in Dawn. I don't care that he was, in mocap and you couldn't recognize him. He still gave an Oscar-worthy performance in those movies. It's crazy. It's crazy that was the case. But it's just because it's like these, it's Planet of the Apes. It's visual effects and stuff like that. So they were like, nah, we're not going to give you anything for that. But I'm like, that was a goddamn good performance. And you felt that. You didn't know oh, man. Just an injustice. Anyways. We'll see. I didn't pull up any I didn't see any blockbuster. I didn't see any box office projections. So I was like, we won't talk about that. Just talk about some of the reviews. Who knows if it's going to do well? Maybe. We'll see. I didn't see any box office projections, but I was like, I don't really feel like talking about projections when it comes to that. Question is, will it do better than The Fall Guy did this past weekend? That's the question. That is the question. Warner Brothers and Disney are coming together, guys. Oh, boy, that's right. Iger and Zazzy Pants coming together. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Oh, man. Who would have thunk it, guys? That's right. When it comes to Disney and Warner Brothers. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I'm sure you guys saw that when it comes to streaming, because the streaming wars, seems like the streaming wars, it's died down, right? Remember, we kept on talking about the streaming wars, and there was the streaming wars when it came to the last few years, especially during the pandemic, because the streaming wars really kicked into gear because everybody was home. So it's like, all right, let's make as much content as possible, put as much content on the streaming services as possible because everybody's home. And now that we're not in the pandemic anymore and people are still wanting to go to the movie theaters or not even want to be at home anymore, I mean, the prices keep on going up. Max is going to be going up again. There was information that came out that said Max is going to go up again this year. Everything's going up again. And then, of course, there's going to be ads involved. But, yes, there's going to be a bundle that you can get that has Disney Plus, Max, and Hulu. That's right. So you can get a little 3-banger right there. Now, God knows how much that's going to cost. And God knows if it's going to be ad-free. That's what we're kind of wondering when it comes to this merger right here. But it is interesting that it's like, oh, okay, so now Disney and Warner, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse are coming together when it comes to streaming bundles. Now, it doesn't mean that there's going to be any crossover yet. And I say that right now. Yet, what did I tell you guys about the Superman costume? What did I say on Monday when it came to the Superman costume? Who is designing the Superman costume? Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios out of Atlanta designed the Superman costume, all the costumes for Superman. So there's already a little bit of crossover that's happening. And with Warner Brothers Discovery still trying to find their footing, still trying to find all that money, Just don't be surprised if there's going to be some Disney stuff, if they're going to end up getting some of the... I mean, it's going to be a crazy day when you hear that Disney is going to be like distributing Warner Brothers content. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be DC. Well, we've already seen the beginning of that because they are designing the costumes. At least, you know, when it comes to Marvel Studios and their costumes that have been designed straight out of Atlanta. But you just never know what's going to happen when it comes to all this. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if we start hearing some more about things that Disney's going to be doing for Warner Brothers just because of the desperation of what's happening with Warner Brothers. There's going to be some things that are going to be happening. Now, it just depends on, like, how bad it ends up getting. And I'm not saying, I mean, but it's going to be, oh, God, I don't want to see it. But, I mean, what if we see that DC logo and then all of a sudden we say with association with Disney, oh, or Marvel Studios, oh, could happen, guys. Could happen. So just saying, be prepared because that could happen. With the way things are right now, so ridiculous. Anyways, so you've been warned. You know, Warner Brothers starts selling off shit. Disney, you know, and Iger would not be surprised if they would want to swallow some of those IPs up. I'm not saying there's going to be like a whole crossover thing that happens, but I'm just saying, you know, we start seeing that Disney logo on Warner Brothers IP, DC IP. That's going to be a day. That's going to be a day. I know. I get it, but don't be surprised, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get some Twitter questions, and then we'll go into the, whatchamacallit. We'll go into the members-only stream. See what we got here. Let's make sure we're all good. Okay. All right, we got Eric right here. Yo, Dave, you discussed the idea of a pulp hero cinematic universe tonight. Gotta say, I love the idea. Frankly, there are studios out there who are probably looking for their own potential cinematic universe. Universal effed up the Monsters universe, so Paramount? Anywho, I mean, they have to get ownership of all the different movie rights to those characters because they're not all together in one little package. While the studio would certainly have to get the rights from different folks, I'd say Warren Beatty would be game to produce Dick Tracy. Would he? What was the last thing that he made? On a side note, I thought for a while Adam Driver would make an awesome Shadow. Yeah, that's a good choice. But who could be Dick Tracy? I mean, I think of what's his name? God, what's his name? Mad Men. I can't think of his name right now. He'd be a pretty good Dick Tracy. Mad Men. I can't think of his name. Somebody help me out. That's a good one right there. There's the best Superman suit. John Hamm. Thank you, Stephanie. John Hamm would be he'd be a good Dick Tracy, I think. Devon Wooter. Hey, Dave, I watched Dredd, Carl Urban version. What your favorite scene from the movie? There's too many. There's so many good scenes in that. I think when he killed Mama, that scene was so good. And she fell like, all slow motion. It was crazy. And people really hating on the Superman suit from the internet and YouTube. Do you think people will give the suit a chance? Oh, I think a majority of people are giving the Superman suit a chance. It's just the people who hate it the most are the most vocal. They're the ones that are talking about it more than the people who like it. So, in fact, they're actually, working against and helping it more. It's been trending for like 2-3 days now. So, Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, would you like for the X-Men to eventually get introduced before or after Secret Wars? Well, I mean, technically they're going to be introduced before because we're getting in Deadpool. So, yeah, before. Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, I don't get why there's so much hate for the new Superman suit. Yeah, it's not as good as Man of Steel, but it's hard to top. In the sequels, they could upgrade the suit, which they will for toys. Yeah, they do that for every one of them. even with with the Snyderverse, both Batman and Superman. Even they tweaked Wonder Woman a little bit, and Aquaman. I mean, and the Flash. They all got new suits. Their problem solved. Their problem solved. Now everyone can stop losing their shit. That's never going to happen. Jamon Watson, Green Goblin to James Gunn. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother? Right? Why bother? But, it's just the way it is. But, it's just, like I said, the fact that it was just, that was the first reveal. I just scratched my head on that. I mean, that was a choice. And like I said on Monday's show, is this what they wanted to do? They wanted to be like, people are going to hate this, and hopefully it's going to trend. Or did James Gunn and crew just go like, yeah, because the normal costume reveal is always them standing full on, doing a pose or something like that. Nah, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it so different that people are going to love it. And they just went a little too far. They just went a little too far when it came to it. So it's like, yeah, let's show that it's not skin tight. Let's show him, somber. And that's what's kind of funny too, though. It's like, and I thought, and I could appreciate how different the reveal is. I mean, I think the background image is dumb and weird, but then again, you could be like, what is that? What is that back there? Solaris, Parasite, Brainiac, who's that? You could guess on what the hell is going on in the background. But yeah, it's just an interesting, it's going to be talked about. It's going to be studied for sure, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate you guys clicking in and spending some time with me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel before you leave. Hit that like, thumbs up. Share the stream. Members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll talk for a little bit, and then, of course, we'll be doing Fanimated. And Fanimated, we'll be doing it in less than an hour, so check that out and everything. So, yeah, we'll be talking about Superman. We'll be talking about metal, that's for sure. Metal. So tune into that. And, yeah, guys, love ya. I'll see you guys who is not part of the members-only stream or is not going to join the DC Fanimated. I'll see you guys on Friday for the Vodka stream. Of course, we have lots to talk about when it comes to that and everything. So, all right, guys, members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Everybody else, I'll talk to you later.